Kulsoom Abdullah is a passionate weightlifter who has been competing in the sport for several years. But she's also a devout Muslim, and until recently, that meant she could not compete in U.S. national level events because of her modest Islamic attire, which covers her arms, head, and legs. The International Weightlifting Federation required all lifters to wear a singlet, a sleeveless and legless skin-tight garment to allow judges to assess proper technique.
It still affected me a little bit emotionally because when you weightlift, you really have to just go after it, and you have to have a strong will, and you have to have confidence. It was hard because of that disappointment, but I still tried to do the best I could.
When Abdullah qualified for last year's US Open at age 34, she was denied permission to participate because of her competition garment. So she decided to take matters into her own hands. First, she contacted USA Weighlifting, the sport's national governing body.
I wrote a letter explaining my situation, talking about how I've been involved in the sport, and I would like to be able to work with them to see what could I wear that it wouldn't give me an advantage over competitors, but I could still be covered. And I got the response, basically no, that they had to reject my request for a modification because they are governed by the International Weightlifting Federation.
But Abdullah did not let that discourage her. Her next step was to contact the Council on American Islamic Relations. The group's spokesperson, Ibrahim Hooper, wanted to help.
We approached the US Olympic Committee and we asked them to be her advocate at the meeting of the International Weightlifting Federation when it met recently in Malaysia.
As soon as they released it the same day, reporters were calling them and emailing and trying to contact me. So it was like, wow, this is a big surprise. And then I saw it on the internet and the news and I was like, oh my God, this is weird, but I'm gonna just keep trying with it.
And so she did. She created a detailed presentation for the IWF meeting, outlining her religious requirements and how they could be met without compromising the sport or giving her a competitive advantage. Only 2 days later, the Federation changed the rule. John Duff is the Chief Executive Officer at USA Weighlifting.
The new rule set by the IWF allows an athlete in competition to wear a full-body suit called a unitard. That suit can cover the elbows and the knees, which previously wasn't allowed because of the technical nature on the execution of a lift.
Ibrahim Hooper deals with cases such as Abdullah's on a daily basis. He thinks the decision goes beyond just weightlifting.
We're often told that Muslim women need to be empowered, and we agree. And what better way to literally empower a Muslim woman but to have her as a weightlifter? So I think it was a symbolic case that sent a message to Muslim women and to others around the world that women can participate in any walk of life, can participate in any sport and maintain their Islamic principles.
At her first ever national championship on July 15th, wearing her new homemade skin-colored unitard, Abdullah's dream finally came true. Though she was hampered by nerves, she was happy to finish 5th out of the 6 competitors in her 48-kilogram weight class.
I would have liked to have done heavier weights, but we thought, I'm going to be nervous. After the first one that I did and I got it, I was like, okay, good. That was the hardest one. I was very relieved when it was over, but I'm kind of still excited now because I'm like, yeah, it was cool. I had that experience.
Fellow competitor Suzanne Sanchez, who came in second, says she supports the IWF's new ruling.
I definitely think that it's going to make it more competitive internationally. Internationally, I think there are only 80 countries that have women's teams that compete in weightlifting. Of those countries, I think there's only one team, and it's Egypt, that has a Muslim team.
Perhaps Kulsoom Abdullah will never win an Olympic medal. But for this Pakistani American who worked hard to simply be able to compete, it's all about just that, the excitement and joy of competition. Tala Hadavi, VOA News, Council Bluffs, Iowa.